News Network. It was kind of a coin toss. I was just like, I can do a video and upload it, or I can go live, and it's been a while since I've gone live, so I don't know. Maybe there's somebody out there that I need to see live. So, hi. Without a warning, I'm going live with my broadcast. So welcome, the couple of you that are here. I have a whole list of questions, but for the couple people that are here, you feel free. You can put up your questions if you have some. I certainly have plenty. So I was walking this morning, and because I walk just about every day for like maybe a 5K every day, unless it's really stormy or other extenuating circumstances. So hello. We don't do personal questions. You can ask me a political question. Oh yeah, Thomas, you must have a political question. I recognize your name. I will do my best to see the chat. This is why I hesitate to go on live, because it can be chaotic. But I'm glad you're here. So I was just about to say, I was walking today, and every once in a while when I'm walking, because I'm a songwriter and that's my medium is music, besides, you know, what else I do. So I have a little song for you, and it goes like this. You ready? I have the words written down. We are Americans, we love democracy. We participate in all our governing. We're taking back control of all the rights they stole. 'Cause love is stronger than the hateful GOP. What do you think? Yeah, sorry, I really can't say. I really just I have to. Oh, I just hit the screen and I noticed there's a way to get moderators. So anyway, live and learn, right? I'm going to sing it again. We are Americans, we love democracy. We participate in all our governing. We're taking back control of all the rights they stole. 'Cause love is stronger than the hateful GOP. It just popped into my head. And I'm grateful for the gift, honestly. So I'm going to teach that to Grassroots of Democracy. And that will be our anthem. And that won't be the first time that you hear it. So there you go. All right. I have a list. And somebody said, can they ask me a question? I think it was Thomas. And you can. But be patient, because it's hard for me to see. Did you like the song? You want to write down the words? You know what I'll do? I will write down the words in the description after this post. So welcome. It is it's Hump Day. The moon today, I think, is still in Pisces. Be aware that we have about 5 planets in the sign of Pisces right now. I mentioned that before on the live with, no, it wasn't live, the show I did with Corey yesterday, which is on my community page and on Bridge Cape Ann. So check that out. 5 planets in Pisces means, like, if you know any Pisces, I love Pisces. I just had dinner with my dad. He's a Pisces. And it's kind of like they don't really know what they want sometimes. So if you feel a little spacey, and if you feel like you're not, being very, like intentional or, direct, be patient. And, if other people aren't being very intentional and direct, just be patient, because we've got 5 planets in Pisces. And that's like, it's a really good time to meditate. It's a really good time to watch your intake of mind-altering substances. Just be, go easy. If you are doing anything that's mind-altering, the Piscean energy makes people want to get altered, So, like I said, I'll do my best to see. I'll put the words down in the description. Dorothy, I must have read your mind, because it was totally, I'm not going live, I'm not going live, I'm not going live, and then before you know it, I find myself going live. So that Pisces energy just really, Use it to meditate. Use it to tune in. It's a very psychic time, too. So, the first question I have here is about the McCarthy documents. I wonder if there's a way to make the print larger. Yeah, I'll do my best. Newly released McCarthy comments talking about stopping other Republicans from their talk about promoting violence. So Kevin McCarthy has gone, he went from rational and cautious after the insurrection, like, whoa, we need to pull it back, this is dangerous, this is not good. So Kevin McCarthy went from that, and we know he's a flip-flopper. We know that's just the way, like I was saying, it's like he likes to wear his flip-flops and run around the pool at Mar-a-Lago, flip-flopping. That's Kevin McCarthy. So we want to know what happened, what caused the shift that happened to Kevin McCarthy that he, I mean, and Mitch McConnell does it too, totally flip, totally change their tune. So we're going to ask, what is up with that? What actually happens? And the guides just said they're, the guides are showing it to me like a carrot is dangled in front of them. So, and I feel like it's monetary. So when Kevin McCarthy and Mitch McConnell and all the others, Lindsey Graham, when they flip, when they go from definitely, Trump shouldn't be in power after January 6th, we need to get him to resign. When they go from that to, it's all about Trump, like Mitch McConnell being interviewed by Jonathan Swan, oh yes, Trump's the man, Trump's the man, Trump's the man. And we know if we watch this man, we're totally befuddled. Totally like, what is it? He's up there talking about flushing toilets. What is it about Trump that's made these guys flip? And the guys are saying, flip onto Trump's side when they were definitely done with him. We remember Lindsey Graham on the House floor, and after they went back and they actually certified the election and it was made official, Lindsey Graham was like, he was saying he's done. So the guides are showing me the carrot got dangled in front of them. Like, see, the carrot got dangled. It's like, oh, Kevin, do you really want to be out of power? Because if you don't go with me, this is what the guides are showing me. Trump going like, if you don't do what I say, then you're going to lose all this money. So, I'm sorry, I can't see that. I'll post the words. So something is dangled in front of them that they cannot resist. Do you remember that I've been talking about a blind lust for power? Yes, it's a blind lust for power. But with, and that's what I say about Ron DeSantis, especially. And I have said that Ron DeSantis, just speaking of that, I remember the other day that I said a few months back, Ron DeSantis has some connection. There's a thread that connects Ron DeSantis to January 6th. I'm not clear about what it is yet, but I do feel that. So, we're asking what made them all flip back from almost having a come to Jesus breakthrough moment where they were going to be rational and care about America to, we don't care about America, we need autocracy. The dangling carrot. I hope you all are having a good day. Are you having a good day? Do you really think? I love it. Now you're writing in all caps. Well, okay. So I'm asking about what made these guys flip. What made these Republicans flip? And this is confusing me a little bit because it's like, the Hierophant, this represents a constitution. And this was what was offered to them. Actually, this is showing that they were very indecisive. The Republicans that wanted Trump to resign after January 6th were very, very indecisive. They did want to defend the Constitution and they did want to defend our country. They did. That's genuinely there. The King of Wands, yeah, okay, so it's like, this is interesting too, because it's saying that what was promised to them if they sided with Trump was a lot of just praise and adulation and power through communication. So there was something that was dangled in front of them, which was like, if you side with Trump, we will give you all the communication power that you need. Something to do with having all the PR and all the media that they need. Isn't that interesting? The plot thickens, and then there comes Elon Musk and Twitter. Is there a connection? Is there a connection? Because I'm getting that there, wow, that, sometimes I get answers I really didn't see coming. Wow, okay, so just to wrap that up, or to summarize, the GOP Republicans that wanted Trump to go down after the January 6th insurrection, because they got very freaked out, they almost lost their lives, let's be real. When they, prior to deciding to flip, the carrot that was dangled was something about they would have all the power, and the media, the communications were assured and ensured to be enough to get them really, you know, like up on a big platform. Does that make sense? The pedestal was promised to them, so they flipped back to Trump even after the insurrection. So, and then, you know, because that King of Wands there that I just saw looks a lot like, because wands are communication, it looks like what was promised to them has to do with communications. So, the plot thickens. I want to look a little more into that, because then we have the am I keeping you sane? Oh my gosh, that's the best news I heard all day. It's like putting the puzzle pieces together, and if they were promised more visibility and more communication, and then along comes Elon Musk and Twitter, I'm wondering if that was maybe in the works after January 6th, towards the end of January, February 2021, when they started flipping all over the place back to Trump. It is a big puzzle. I could see that. It's a huge puzzle. So did Elon Musk's plans that we didn't know about have something to do with why the Republicans, oh my gosh, entertainment purposes only, I did not expect this. They were promised control over the people through media platforms. Crazy. I'll read the comments afterwards because there's some interesting ones coming up. Yeah, I gotta read up on what's going on with Paxton and Abbott. I promise I'll get on that. Honestly, there's so much news. So that was my question of why did those guys flip? And I didn't expect it to take me down that rabbit hole. Is who? Elon getting paid by Russia? That actually makes sense. Let's ask the pendulum that. There's something nefarious going on there. I've never trusted Elon Musk, and it's not so much that he's brazenly nefarious. It's more like he doesn't. When I tune into Elon Musk, it's not that he's brazenly nefarious. He just doesn't have a sense of conscience. So Beto and Abbott are neck and neck. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Does it have to do, is Elon being paid by Russia, entertainment purposes only? No, I don't see that Elon's being paid by Russia. And then, okay, so then the pendulum's doing this. It's not direct, but it's indirectly. It's indirectly. Yeah, actually, it could be, it's not autism, it's Asperger's. Yeah, it's Asperger's. That, you know, and I don't know, I'm not a psychiatrist, I don't know. I don't know. This is why it's hard to go live, because I lost your comments. Let me see. A new show called What Makes These Creeps Tick. Okay, hang on a second. Let me do something here. Okay, so let's do this. Let's do this. Okay. Let's take a look at Abbott, and let's see if there's a connection between Abbott and DeSantis, because they seem to be having the same playbook. Abbott and DeSantis seem to be having the same playbook. They will be found out. This will be found out. What they're doing will be found out. So here we are. What Greg Abbott is doing, what Ron DeSantis are doing, they're kind of in cahoots, and it will be found out. And there's going to be a big transformation when it's found out. And there's going to be a time where it's almost like they have to quiet down. They have to pull it back and quiet down a little bit. This is about DeSantis and Abbott. They're going to be found out. There's going to be some illicit activity that gets found out. And it's looking like you're going to notice a time when DeSantis and Abbott coming up, it feels like in the late spring, where they kind of pull back a little bit, where it's like, wow, they were so in the forefront. They wanted to be on the center stage. There was a lot of, that. But around the late spring, you're going to see Abbott and DeSantis tone it down. Tone down their messaging. And it reminds me a little bit of a battle where the enemy retreats, like what we see Russia do, where they retreat, and you're like, oh, what are they up to? And then they sort of regroup. We're going to see DeSantis and Abbott sort of like retreat and then regroup. Like it's like a change of strategy. So back to Elon Musk. I don't feel like he has the ability to see the consequences of his actions and consider them. That's the energy that I'm getting around him. I think the reason we get so confused about Elon is that we can't really see that we're looking for maliciousness, and we don't see maliciousness. We just kind of go like, why is he doing that? Why is he doing that? So yeah, whoever's jumping on, it was a coin toss. Should I go live or should I just do a video? So nice to see you all. Sorry I can't see your comments very well. Next question. You can talk amongst yourselves. Will Trump pay the $10,000 per day for being in contempt and not turning over the requested documents to Letitia James? He appealed it as usual. Is there anything that Trump doesn't appeal? Is there anything? He's a bully, though. Yeah, I would say he's a bully. I just don't think that he's doing it to be mean. He's just doing it because he just can't help himself. Nice to see you. No, he won't. He won't pay the 10 grand. What he's really, I guess, with this appeal that Trump's appealing. You know what? The reason he doesn't turn over his documents is it too obvious? Like, he doesn't turn over his documents because they're incriminating. Actually. Okay. I think what I'm going to end up doing, I'm going to go through the chat and look at your questions for my next video, if I don't get to them. So, what's going to happen with Letitia James? Oh yeah, the high priestess says that there are secrets. Trump is definitely keeping secrets. That's why he won't turn over these documents. And he will be fined the 10 grand a day. But I heard that if he appeals it, then he doesn't have to pay it until that's settled. He's dumb, but he's a brilliant genius when it comes to work in the legal system. Letitia James has all the strength And Letitia James also has more on Trump than what's in this civil case. And the Ten of Wands, it's going to look like it's going to be a big burden for Trump. So, unfortunately, I'm picking up that Trump is working on rallying people to fight for him. I'm not saying violence, but I'm saying that rather than give in to Letitia James, Trump right now is working on figuring out how to rally people around to fight it. And didn't he say he was going to do that at one of his actual rallies about 3-4 months ago? Right now, I see Trump on the phone trying to figure out how to fight the physical location of the court. So, I want to look into that a little bit more. I'm going to look into that a little bit more because I see Trump having no intention of handing over those documents to Letitia James. And the guys are saying it's kind of a racist thing. So, which doesn't surprise me. Is that going to fly? Is he actually going to get people to physically appear to fight? You guys know I don't have a computer, right? So, I mean, if I had a computer, I could see your comments way more. Actually, I don't think he'd be able to, because this is fast-moving energy. This is fast-moving energy. This has to do with whether Trump will be able to rally people to help him to get out of trouble in New York with Letitia James. And no, they have too much. I know they have too much on him for him to be able to do that. And I don't feel like people are going to rally for Trump the way that they have because of what happened with the insurrection. Hang on. Sorry. I'm sorry. Montana politics. Okay, well listen. Let's just lay it on the line. Here's what we have to really talk about. And we can't mince words. And I'm really good at not mincing words in terms of, I'll just tell it like it is. I'm Sagittarius. I can't help it. America is in a war, an inside war. And the inside war it's a civil war of sorts. And the civil war is like, if you've watched the movie Gettysburg, it's a 4-hour movie, but it was made in the 90s, but I watched it fairly recently on a snow day. But the movie Gettysburg, if you watch the movie Gettysburg and you see the Union soldiers fighting for civil rights, for human rights, to free the slaves, you really get a sense of, as brutal as it is and as bloody as it is, that there was, they had to stand on principle. They had to stand on slavery is wrong. It was a civil war. We are in a civil war with the GOP. The GOP, think of it this way. During the Civil War, the South wanted slavery. The North said, this is wrong. We can't do this. This is wrong. So now, fast forward to 2022, the GOP wants autocracy. The rest of us want democracy. It's that simple. The thing that's not simple is that the GOP has coaching from Vladimir Putin on how to control the masses psychologically through social media. Did you catch all that? That's what we're up against. So, this can, hang on a second. I'm sorry. This is just how it is. Oh, you're sweet. So this is a message I really want to get across to people is we're in a war. We are in the United States of America, we're in a war, and I want everyone to get it sooner than later. We don't have to fight with weapons. We have to fight with our activism. We have to fight with our persistence, and we have to not back down. Happy birthday! Happy birthday! I'm impressed that you're spending your birthday here. So seriously, and you know I'm going to tell you it all during Grassroots of Democracy by sending an email to grassrootsofdemocracy@gmail.com. No, we don't have a website. We're just a group of people. We'll get that eventually. Send an email, grassrootsofdemocracy@gmail.com. Type AYE in the subject line. Today's Wednesday. We meet on Thursday, 7 to 8 p.m. every single week. And the only obligation you'll have is you don't really have an obligation. If you want to join us, then come join us. So, Biden announced disinformation. The dangling carrot. Yeah. I love that for the name of a restaurant. The dangling carrot. We could probably come up with some good ones. We could really come up with some good ones. We're in a civil war against autocrats. If you're talking to anybody about what's going on, first of all, if you're talking to a Trump supporter, understand that they're under the cult mentality. Thank you. Understand that they're anyone who's supporting Trump, people that are going to the rallies, you notice a lot of these people are extremely gullible. They're not educated. I'm not having a judgment about that. It is what it is. Understand that the people that are most susceptible to cult recruiting are people that are gullible. I know that from my personal experience of having known somebody close to me who got involved in a cult, and I got quite an education. Let's go to. Did I say whether Trump would pay the $10,000 a day? I didn't really say if he would pay it. Is Trump going to pay the $10,000 a day to Letitia James? Is it going to come to that? He's not planning to. Is he? Okay, is it going to turn into something else? Let's just look at some cards about that. Is Trump going to have to pay the $10,000 a day? He doesn't pay his bills. He might declare bankruptcy or something. Gosh, this is interesting. I don't see him paying the 10 grand. I'm seeing him pay in some other way. I actually think it might be property. That he might have to, Trump may have to pay in property. I don't see him paying in money. But I do see him having to pay in property. All right, let's see. For our next trick, we're going to try to decipher the next thing. Oh, there's so much. Steve Scalise said that Matt Gaetz' behavior was illegal in the new thing. Yeah, praise the Lord that we have investigative journalism. Praise whatever you praise, but we're so fortunate. And it's not lost on me that the GOP is like whining and crybabying about, we don't have free speech. It's like, hello, you have Fox propaganda. So their behavior was illegal, which McCarthy said on the newly released tapes that right after January 6th, their behavior was illegal. They were inciting violence. They could be liable. And I want to know, because they were calling for people to attack violently members of Congress, Matt Gaetz and Scalise, and they weren't the only ones, but they were on, New Zealand, wow. So they were on tape. I think McCarthy was on tape saying, we got to do something about them. They need to tone it down. And I want to know if they're feeling nervous about their behavior. Matt Gaetz, and, you know, there were others. Mo Brooks, Gomer. So Kevin McCarthy basically was saying they need to tone it down because that's illegal. So I want to see how Matt Gaetz is feeling about that behavior. Oh, he's reflecting on what might happen to him. But Matt Gaetz thinks nothing will happen to him. And we can look at whether he's going to ever be in jail. I got yes. Oh, this information, the Eight of Wands is coming up a lot right now. So this is about fast-moving information. Fast-moving energy heading to results. And the Queen of Swords, Liz Cheney. Liz Cheney was there. Liz Cheney was on the phone with Kevin McCarthy. Right, like a week or so after January 6th, talking about how to get Trump. I think it was like a week or so, maybe less, after the insurrection, trying to get Trump to resign. This is about Liz Cheney knowing everything that Matt Gaetz said and what Gomer said and Mo Brooks said, and we know a lot of it too, but I think she knows more because she was there behind the scenes in terms of just being, you know, a Republican. So, Matt Gaetz, this is like reflection. These guys that were outed by the Kevin McCarthy tapes, just because of, you know, the content, what was on them, are reflecting on, well, it's not like they're having a come to Jesus moment. They're just like, how do I get out of this? But you know what? They always think that there's a way, especially somebody like Matt Gaetz. He always believes there's a way. Just like Madison Cawthorn, these kids, I'm going to call them kids because they act like bad teenagers. They always believe that daddy's going to bail them out because daddy, whoever daddy is, always bails them out. And that's what's going on with like the Matt Gaetz and the Cawthorns. And just for the heck of it, because I mentioned Cawthorn, I'm going to I didn't plan on it, but let's see what's going on with Madison Cawthorn. Gross! He's a Madison Cawthorn could really use rehab. He could really use rehab. Hi, Michigan. That's where I was born. Where are you in Michigan? I can't see. I shouldn't be asking you questions. We're cleaning up the mess. We most certainly are. Well, you know what? We have to clean. This is what we have to do. I'm glad you mentioned that. I'm glad I saw it. We, for decades, were almost embarrassed to say that we were interested in what was going on the political front for fear of hearing people respond, oh, I don't get into politics. And in New Age circles, it was really bad. It was really like, oh, I can't watch the news. Oh, woe is me. I'm too delicate to watch the news. I can't ruin my vibration. That's how it was. And that's why we got into the place that we're in, because people wouldn't get involved. But we can change that. We have to understand that we're in a war. Okay, so anyway, I was asking about Madison Cawthorn. I mean, we're in a war in the United States. It's a different kind of war. Okay. Am I right? It's true. Madison Cawthorn. He has an opportunity to get himself out of what he's in terms of just being a heinous person who's going to get expelled from his seat. They tried to get him off the ballot, but, you know, supposedly it was too late. It's all corrupt. And the Queen of Cups, Madison Cawthorn has a drinking problem. Let's just be real. And the Queen of Cups is, he's actually, somebody's telling him he needs to be, checked out or go to rehab or something. And the Ten of Pentacles is, now I actually see Madison Cawthorn being coddled a little bit. And what I mean is, he's going to have he has a lot of people making excuses for him. And it's pretty despicable. It really is pretty despicable. So, I'm sorry, I know this is distracting, but you should see how I feel. So Madison Cawthorn, I feel like he's going to get coddled. I think I did something that shut off your comments. Okay. So, here we are. Now we're going to beat dangling. Are you guys throwing around restaurant names? I'm very, very into human psychology. I'm not a psychologist, but I've always been fascinated. I should have been a sociologist. But, you know, I'm saying should have been. Well, I am, you know, just because I don't have a degree. Lena Rodriguez has a, she has a degree in, she's a doctor of sociology, I think, which I think is a fascinating field. Madison Cawthorn needs to be in rehabilitation, and I feel like people are going to start attempting to use, oh, he has a drinking problem, to use that as an excuse for him. But I don't really think that's the only thing going on with him. What's up with Rand Paul? Talking to Tony Blinken like, did you guys see Rand Paul? You guys are hilarious tonight. The psychic psychologist. Did you guys see? Yeah, that would be good if he had to hand over money, if Trump had to hand over money to his niece. Did you guys see Rand Paul? It's unexcusable, you know. And then when Matt Gaetz went after Lloyd Austin, the Secretary of Defense, and you know, they're going after the Secretary of State. It's like, what is wrong with you people? So Rand Paul, oh my God, Rand Paul, he's just like, there's ugly and then there's ugly. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about physical looks. Rand Paul is okay, let's ask this. Is Rand Paul being influenced by the demonic? Is Rand Paul being influenced by the demonic? Rand Paul is being influenced by the demonic. I just want you to know, I'm a spiritual, you know, I'm a psychic. There is a dark side. There are demonic forces. Case in point, look at Putin. So Rand Paul is basically, he's demonic. Yeah, and Putin is too, and we'll get to that. Yeah, some people don't have souls. Let's take a look from the cards of what's going on with Rand Paul. Because, I mean, some of these guys, they just are like, they might as well just say, I am a Putin follower. I mean, basically my take was Rand Paul was saying, Putin has a right to do what he's doing to Ukraine. He might as well have just said that. It's terrible. It's just terrible. And Rand Paul is feeling like he doesn't have any leg to stand on. This is how lame it is, excuse the pun. Rand Paul he's definitely influenced by Putin, and he's just evil, and I agree with all that. And I see Rand Paul having nothing to go on, so he's going with this. What a lowlife. I am sorry. The Six of Cups. I'm going to look at a couple more cards about this, because he really has nothing left to go on. He's just trying to start fights. That's what he's trying to do. Of course, they're looking for their social media moments. I do see the Three of Cups. I see Rand Paul being caught. He's being caught for something. And the Democrats are glad. This is like, Rand Paul is going to get kicked out of the sandbox. He's not playing nice. Let's ask the pendulum. Is Rand Paul going to be outed for something? Of course they're being influenced by the demonic. Am I just assuming everybody knows that and they don't? Now I forgot what I was asking, but anyway, it's affirmative. Oh yeah. Is Rand Paul going to be found out for something? He's going to be outed for something. Murky red aura, that's interesting. I mean, if people think they're not psychic, there are people, yeah, he's getting ready, it looks like he's getting ready to go to jail. There are people that don't understand that that we're all psychic. So when you have a, think about, when I look at Ted Cruz, I actually have a visceral reaction where I'm not like actually sick, but I feel the energy of like sick, like yuck, like oh, like hard to describe. That's because you're seeing their energy. You're seeing it, you're sensing it, you're feeling it. It's called Moscow Mitch too, yeah. So you know what I'm talking about. So it's like Gomer, like Gosar. Oh my God. Paul Gosar. It's unbelievable. So, you know, if you want to test out your psychic, you know, radar, notice that. And even in your own life, notice there are people that you get around and it's like you feel great, and then there are people that you get around and you don't even know why. There's nothing to even explain it. You're just like, oh, I just feel icky. So and I actually there's nothing wrong with the word empathetic if you use the word empathetic. The word empath is, in my humble opinion, is used too much to almost sound like a disability. Perceptive. I like perceptive. So we're looking at I guess we're still looking at Rand Paul. Yeah. Rand Paul is just looking for a fight. He's just looking for an argument. He's just looking for a fight. That's what he likes. But I do feel someone's going to cut him down. I feel like somebody's going to cut Rand Paul down mid-sentence. The guys are saying mid-sentence. Do you remember when Fauci went after, it was Rand Paul. Like that. Remember when Fauci went after him? I was having a moment of like, who was that? And it was Dr. Fauci. It was Rand Paul. You know, and I think Rand Paul's going to quiet down a bit when he sees that what he's actually getting for his little media clips or memes is what he's actually going to be getting put up there. It's kind of like what happened in the Ketanji Brown Jackson hearings, where it ended up with Ted Cruz just having his memes were him with like a big baby book behind him. Something about baby races. It just ended up making him look stupid. So what's going to happen with Rand Paul is he's going to start looking so stupid, and because someone's going to really call him out on the stage. So, I mean on camera. Because we were talking about the demonic. You hate your middle name? This is why it was a coin toss to decide whether to go on. Oh, that's your middle name, to go on live. You wonder what he eats for dinner? What Rand Paul eats for dinner? Worms. What does Rand Paul eat for dinner? I'm sorry. I got worms. Just kidding. Fried worms and hot cockroaches. Is that Brazilian crystals? Were you asking what Rand Paul eats? And that's your middle name too? Oh wow, I did not think it was that common. Well, I wasn't gonna come live. I just kind of got a vibe, and then someone said something like they wanted me to come on live. So I think I got conjured up. You all conjured me up live. I'm blaming you. Next. What type of coup is the GOP planning now? Fish bones. That's the next question on my list, is what type. Now, you notice inherent in that question is that I'm saying that they don't care. They don't care. They don't care. They have no conscience. Or they sort of numbed it down. What type of coup is the GOP planning now? You notice that I'm saying it like it is. What type of coup is the GOP planning now? The guys just said voting. It all has to do with voting. So the GOP is planning a coup. So what my question is, what kind of coup are they planning? And the guide said voting. And we will look at DeSantis and what about him inventing a police force just for voting. DeSantis is actually creating a military police force for voting day. Crazy, crazy, crazy. What kind of coup? Okay, this is the GOP, and they're planning a coup. They're planning to take over American democracy with autocracy. I'm not saying they're gonna win. I'm just saying that they're planning a coup. DeSantis is blind. He has a blind lust for power that drives him. I don't think DeSantis sleeps. I don't think he sleeps. Very little. He's crazed. So the kind of coup that the GOP is planning is they're planning a coup because they didn't quite make it. This is the card. The Four of Cups is like they missed an opportunity. They also missed an opportunity to do better. Because like when Kevin McCarthy could have gotten Trump to resign, or at least attempted it, he missed an opportunity to do the right thing. So the GOP, since they missed that opportunity, they are planning a coup, and it has to do with voting. It has to do with the polls. So, which is the redistricting and all that. So, one thing I want to tell everybody is not only are we going to work to, be real activists and work really hard to save our democracy, even if we're just donating to organizations that save democracy, and, maybe writing some emails, we will also need to visualize democracy winning. I cannot emphasize how important that is. We need to visualize democracy winning. Okay? That's a really important part of this work. I'm guilty of it. I think we all do it. We get really frustrated, and then we just get like it's exacerbating or exhausting, or and we just get frustrated, but we cannot not visualize what we want to have happen. That has to be a big part of it. Okay, and I'm going to be preaching that a lot because the GOP is planning a coup, and it looks to me like it's around voting because the Eight of Cups here, or the Nine of Cups, is showing me that that's where they think the most abundant opportunity is to steal our democracy. So that's what kind of coup they're planning. It really has to do with mostly with the voting. That's where they think their easiest in is. Election day, basically. How far will they get? Because they're actively planning a coup. But it's not a one-day coup. It's it's in effect right now. Yeah, well, they're on their last leg, pretty much. So, visualize democracy winning. I'm just going to give you a few tips about this. I voted for Obama twice. You probably did too if you're on my channel. Remember the feeling when Obama got in office. Remember the feeling when we had wins. Remember that, and then use that. So I'm asking how it's going to go with the autocrats trying to take over democracy. And I see the emperor, which is democracy, is going to stay intact. We're going to hang on. We're going to hang on for dear life. And the Ten of Pentacles is we will start to care about our country more than we ever have. Really, really, we can do this. And I don't think that it would be wise for us to forget how powerful collective thinking is. It's okay to cheat and claim to be Christians. Well, that's all over the Bible. Beware of, I don't know, was it the Bible? Was it Jesus said, beware of wolves in sheep's clothing? Is that where that came from? The only way the GOP can win is by cheating. So they're going to just blatantly cheat. And we cannot let them. Yeah. So think about Obama and think about the other Democratic wins. And also, let's find gratitude in, for instance, we have investigative journalism. We have freedom of speech. And the GOP hates that we have freedom of speech, and that's why they keep accusing the Democrats of taking away their freedom of speech, which makes absolutely no sense, because they're on the TV saying they're taking away our freedom of speech. I am telling you what, they think we're stupid. I pulled 3 cards and I didn't even ask a question. Well, we're still on this topic of the GOP. The Tower card means we will see big disruption. We will see big, because they're going to fight back when we're fighting back. And I don't mean violence, because I don't predict things like that. But anyway, so the Tower card is like, they expect disruption. I'm just not going to plant a seed in your head that we're going to have violence. That's not what I do. The 2 of Swords, we will come to points where we feel like, oh no, we're not going to win. Oh no, we're not going to win. He pulled that reporter out. I missed that. Did that happen today? Don't be depressed. Join Grassroots of Democracy. We cannot afford to go there. We cannot afford to go there. I'm telling you, you cannot afford to get depressed and discouraged. I'm going to lecture you for 1 second, maybe 10 seconds. Do not get depressed over this. That means they've won. Do not go there. Join us. Join an organization. I just say join our group because we have fun. We get a lot done. Oh my God, does he do eye surgery? I know no time to get depressed. Thank you. There's no time. If I need to come on live and give you all a pep talk, I'll totally be here. There are opportunities here. We have opportunities. We have opportunities to come together. If I have to come on live more and give you all pep talks, I will do it, because I will do whatever it takes. You don't. If you don't think that I will, then you probably don't know me very well. I will do whatever it takes to get you all rah, 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 rah. I was a cheerleader. It's true. I really was. I was a cheerleader. It was actually when it was cool. But I digress. Do not get depressed. Yeah, I knew he was an eye surgeon, but I think it's been a very long time since he did eye surgery. I can't even imagine Rand Paul being a surgeon, because that would require that he cared about people. Well, in terms of maybe he could just only care about himself and, take the money and run. Not screw up because he doesn't want to be, sued, that kind of thing. But I don't think he's been an eye surgeon for a very long time. Will the Democrats take the messaging ball and run with it? For Gloucester High, yes. Woody, are you from here? Anyway, just giving away my secrets. Yes, thank you, Diana. Listen to Diana. Okay. About the Toyota thing. I have a Toyota. I was on the phone with Toyota. You think I'm not an activist, right? I'm just kidding. I know you know I'm an activist. No sooner had I heard that Toyota was... That's on my list of questions, I think. Oh, no, that's on my list on the agenda for tomorrow night's meeting. The second I heard that the corporations that funded the GOP and retracted their support and their funding after January 6th, the second I heard that those corporations are starting to fund the fascists, I was on the phone with Toyota. And it took me more than half an hour to get the person that worked at Toyota to find me some contact information that she was still uncertain about. I'm still getting to the bottom of how to find the person at Toyota. So far, what have I got so far? I'll give you what I have about Toyota, because I've been leasing from Toyota for about 8 years now, and I have had it. The main headquarters for Toyota's corporate office is in Plano, Texas. Here's the phone number. I don't have the email. I'm still working on it. The phone number for Toyota in Plano, Texas is 469-292-4000. 469-292-4000. To call and complain about them supporting insurrectionists with their finances. I'm livid because I don't want my money going to the insurrectionists. Got it? Yeah, I actually have the name. I don't have it on this scrap piece of paper, but I do. I have the name of the Japanese CEO. So, yeah, and you know, the other thing that makes you feel maybe a little bit good, you're funny, I think it's Sparky. The other thing that makes me feel a little bit better is that they can't be this evil forever without repercussions, right? I mean, not that I'm seeking revenge, but what was I saying the other night? These people are not happy. Oh, okay, so I might just turn my Toyota in if Abbott is in Toyota's pocket. Yes, I will do that. I will put the number in my description of corporate Toyota. So at Grassroots of Democracy tomorrow night, we meet every Thursday, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern, and every single week. And we meet on Saturdays too to just do our work together, anyone who wants to join us. But that's going to be a topic for conversation tomorrow evening, is these corporate donors to the fascist autocrats. Well, we're getting on it. And we're also joining up with other organizations that are saving democracy. So, you know, there's power in numbers. I really do get that. There's power in numbers, and we will win. We will win. We'll win. Yes. We have the playbook, too. We have the Stacey Abrams playbook. If you want the Stacey Abrams playbook, if you don't have it, it's a literal playbook. We did get a hold of it at Grassroots. We're not fooling around, people. Oh, good. Delete your Twitter account. There's no need to be on Twitter. And I was actually, to tell you the truth, I was surprised at the cards that came up around Elon and Twitter. Because as much as people are really freaked out about it, we have lots of reason to be freaked out about Elon Musk buying Twitter. I was surprised that the cards looked like it wasn't going to work out really great for him. So, oh good, I'm glad you'll write to them as well. And I'll put all the information that I have, and come to our meetings if you can. Well, Democrats take the messaging ball and run with it. That's where I was going before I got distracted by the Toyota thing. Okay. We can get back to democracy. We can. Democracy is imperfect. Yeah, get off of Twitter. Get off of Twitter. Well, the Democrats take the ball and run with it. The guys just said yes if we help them. Oh, the Wheel of Fortune. The Democrats will take the ball and run with it. And the hangman is like, you know, this is about... Oh, good. Rudy Giuliani is gonna appear. Oh, that's a good question. He may be... Well, that's interesting. Because when I read on the Elon Musk and Twitter thing, I didn't get that it was going to go very well for him. So that's interesting. Rudy Giuliani appearing before the January 6th committee, that's interesting too. This is about, will the Democrats, let's see, hang on. Are the Democrats going to take the messaging ball and run with it? I have so many questions here. The Wheel of Fortune, yes. They're going to surrender to what we need to do. Now, I'm not going to say they. I'm going to say we. So that our Democratic leader, I mean, I hear too many people on YouTube saying, I'm not pointing fingers at anybody. I'm just saying I hear too many people on YouTube going, well, you know, those Democrats have to do this, and those Democrats have to do the Democrats have to do this, and the Democrats have to do that. I'm like, what's my little song say? My little song that I sang at the beginning, I'll be singing it again. we participate in all our governing. You know, when you hear people going, the Democrats need to do this and the Democrats need to do that, look right at that person and say, aren't you in democracy? I am telling you, nothing like stating the obvious. AT&T, yeah, I know, that's true. We are going to stick together. We are sticking together. Oh, really? The Twitter lost thousands of followers? See, numbers speak. Numbers speak. The people have the power. The GOP, the autocrats want us to feel like we don't have any power. They want us to go, oh, I'm depressed. That's what they want. They want, oh, you're so sweet. They want us to feel, oh, they're hurting us. That's what they want. You shall not pass. I like that. Yes. We Democrats are going to get it together and save our democracy. The messaging is going to happen. Is going to happen. And is happening. The Lincoln Project, that's right. The Lincoln Project had the ad about Toyota. Somebody talked about it, and then I saw the ad that the Lincoln Project had, and it was the same news clip. And that's when I was like, that's it! On the phone! And I had another issue with Toyota too, so I had to call anyway. I had the number right in front of me. But boy, did it take me forever. And the girl that worked for Toyota, it was like, can I put you on hold? I'm going to see if I can find out the name of the CEO. Can I put you on the hold? She couldn't find the information. And the same thing happened with another guy who called me about something to do with Toyota, about the car itself that I had a question about. He couldn't give me the name of the CEO either. It took forever. They're trying to hide from us. They're trying to hide from us. Oh yeah, that's what clued me into it. Well, it worked for me. I think we totally, and this is really my psychic impression, we totally underestimate by so much, 1,000,000 times, how intimidating it will be for them to hear about all of us. When they hear from all of us, it's fun to be an activist. Keeps that energy moving. It's not good to sit and just steep in it. You know what I mean? It's not healthy. What is Madeleine Albright doing on the other side? Can she help us save our democracy? Oh, okay. Well, I'll call the local dealership too. That's a good point. I'll do both. But I was just pretty astounded that nobody that worked at Toyota knew who the CEO was. And then they couldn't find it. No, I don't know. No, I if you can send me information, send it to AnnetteDion7@gmail.com if you have information. And come to our meeting. Michael Brodsman for president. I like it. What is Madeleine Albright doing on the other side? You know that her funeral was today. She died a while ago. Which is odd to me because Madeleine Albright died like a month ago, didn't she? And they had the funeral today. Oh yeah, let's join our forces together. We're going to get to Putin. But first we're going to ask if Madeleine Albright is going to help us to save our democracy from, don't forget to give Annette a thumbs up. Oh, thank you. Thanks, that's sweet. Madeleine Albright was very concerned about our democracy because she saw the signs, because she lived it. She was a refugee. She saw the signs of autocracy. We're under serious threat. I don't mean to scare you, but we're under serious threat. Okay, Madeleine Albright. She is going to help us from the other side. She's not the only one, but she just crossed, and she was really on this issue about we need to save our democracy. She did feel like really hurt by what was happening in this country, that we don't see it. But the star is the United States. The Page of Madeleine Albright is saying we need to get a lot of money behind us. See, now this is a beautiful thing about Grassroots of Democracy too, is people are just now in the chat are telling me things and other people things that I didn't know. And so when we come together as a group, we all like, oh, you found that? Oh, I didn't know that. That's great. I'll do that. There's a lot of sort of brainstorming and networking going on, and it's very effective. So Madeleine Albright, yes, she'll be helping us from the other side. The star is indicative of a psychic connection. It's also it also represents the United States. I borrowed that from Marianne, Revealing Light. That felt like it fit for me. And the Page of Pentacles, Madeleine Albright knew what needed to be done. She had it clearly in her mind's eye, and she's going to make sure she communicates that to us. Akio Toyota. Okay, thank you for that. Yeah, if you just jumped on, it'll post. The Seven of Swords. Madeleine Albright was very concerned and very kind of like a stab to the heart of what was going on with the GOP, especially right before she passed. She's with us. They're with us. You Google the Toyota thing. I had a hard time. Okay, I'm glad you guys are on it. I'm excited about that. Let's all be excited. Are we getting accurate poll numbers about DeSantis? I don't believe that DeSantis is ahead in the polls. I've heard various reports on that. Let's ask the pendulum. Are the poll numbers accurate? In Florida, no, the poll numbers are. If you see poll numbers that say that DeSantis is ahead in Florida, they're not accurate. Okay, is Chris? If you're in Florida, vote for Charlie Crist. Yeah, the poll numbers, they're all like all over the place. I don't. They're not right. Okay, is Crist ahead of DeSantis? Oh, Charlie Crist is ahead of DeSantis. You're so excited. Good. Oh my gosh, Crist is way ahead of DeSantis. Oh my gosh. Crist is way ahead of DeSantis. All right, let's just ask this: is Crist going to be governor of Florida? I didn't know they could run again. I guess I never thought about it. Is Crist slated to win? Thanks for that Toyota information. I don't know why I couldn't find that. It looks like Crist is gonna beat. It looks like he's gonna beat DeSantis. Okay, so and the whole Disney thing with DeSantis is falling apart. Yeah, well, I did ask that about the messengers, and I got affirmative. I got that that's when I pulled the Hangman and the Wheel of Fortune. That the Democrats, the Democrats that are in office have their work cut out for them. I just want to make the point that we're all the Democrats. That we are the Democrats. Government by the people. Okay. Let's quickly look at DeSantis and Disney. Oh my goodness, look at the time. It's like 9:30 here. Let's see. Disney and DeSantis. I think he ran into some snafus. Oh, the guys just said, just like Elon Musk is going to. Keep those visualizations going. Disney. DeSatan? This is Disney. Disney's fighting DeSatan. The interesting thing is that Disney was a huge contributor to the Republican Party. And now it's like, boy, that backfired. Maybe Walt on the other side is going, dudes, I'm not for this. So anyway, this is DeSatan. This is Disney picking up the pieces of what DeSantis left behind. Oh, but what about this law? Oh, what about this law? This is Disney. This is DeSatan. This is Disney. Oh yeah, but what about this? Oh yeah, but what about this? Oh yeah, but what about this? Yes, it's DeSatan. Disney wins. Disney wins. This is like cutthroat Disney lawyers. Rosemary's Baby. That's funny. That was a scary movie. You know, all kidding aside, the evil is real. Evil is real. And we're meant to fight it. And we fight it with love. And it's not like we have to love horrible people. That's asking too much. There was some family flying Trump flags and all the tourists stayed far away from him. That's interesting. Disney is very powerful, and Walt is... let's ask the pendulum. Is Walt influencing what's happening with Disney and DeSantis? Right? Like Walt Disney. Never underestimate a mouse. Seriously. Is Walt Disney guiding this? You know, he's frozen. Right? But I feel like Walt Disney's spirit is guiding. Let's not underestimate the power of the spirits. Oh wow, that's bouncing up and down almost. Yeah. I really do think. Oh, and DeSantis is going to be so mad. I see the same thing with DeSantis that I see with Trump so often, is that, like, you know when a toddler gets really, like a child, a little child that gets really, really, really angry, and they get so angry that they turn red and they start screaming and they pull a tantrum and they're like, and they get, DeSantis and Trump, they both get like that. It's really funny. It's really good. It's funny in a weird way. Next. So I think DeSantis is going to lose this Disney thing. Marjorie Troll Green have an abused or abandoned child. You mean that she has an abandoned child? She has, Marjorie Taylor Greene is, she's a sociopath. In my opinion. In my opinion. Let's see. DeSantis just hates kids. DeSantis hates everybody. I want to ask... Alright, let's just do a couple more questions. Something happened to her. Something happened to Marjorie Taylor Greene. Maybe next time we'll read on her a little bit. I don't feel like she's a very happy camper. I want to ask a little bit about... Okay, so let me tell you what I saw. There's a little video, very short video clip that I saw of Putin. And she has 3 kids. Yeah, I feel sad for the kids. The ghost of Walt Disney is woke. Yeah, Marjorie, she's... I wish, you know, I'd feel sorry for her if she wasn't such a horrible person and violent. I saw a little video clip of Putin, and it's funny, because I was driving home after I saw it, because I was watching Autumn on Black and Orange. Support Autumn at Black and Orange. She does an awesome job. Anyway, so she showed a little clip that she had seen on Twitter of Putin shaking somebody's hand. You may have seen this. And it was only about 10 seconds. But I was driving home reflecting on how horrified I was by that. Because Putin was... Oh my gosh. I just feel like... all the hatred, for one thing, being directed at Putin is... Talk about thoughts affecting reality. There's so much hatred coming at him. I feel like it's just like... It's like acid. It's just... So Putin... Let's ask the cards. Let's ask the cards what is going to happen to him. And I'm talking about his health. It's a huge burden. Putin's health is a huge burden on him. This feels like he's going to be going to the other side. And the Wheel of Fortune, there's a turn for Putin. Wheel of Fortune does not mean a turn for the good. Wheel of Fortune means it's a turn for the good for Europe. let's take another quick look at that. But anyway, he is not well. He can barely stand up. Putin is very weak. This feels like Ukraine is going to win. This feels like Ukraine is going to be comforted. This feels like Ukraine is going to be showered with resources. So, yeah, it was really striking. It was disturbing how bad he looks. But I really do feel like that's all the hatred, too, that's being directed at him. He's in poor health. Let's ask about May 9th. Oh, Corey's going to Amsterdam. What, tomorrow? Later tomorrow? If you caught our show, it wasn't live last night. We didn't have a lot of time yesterday, so we squeezed it in the show. Because listen to me, we didn't have a lot of time. It was like an hour and a half. But he's going to Amsterdam, and we're hoping that he's going. I mean, I don't want to interrupt his vacation, but it'd be really cool if he could message us from. If he could zoom in, we can do a little something from the tulip field in Amsterdam. Let's see. I want to ask, is the war in Ukraine, the attack on Ukraine, going to end within a week? Within 2 weeks? Within 3 weeks? Within 4 weeks? About a week ago I got about the same thing. So we have about a month before we see a switch. And I think that, wouldn't that be fun if we zoomed from him from the tulip field? So, let me see, is Ukraine winning the war? Well, it's hard to see it right now, but it looks like Ukraine is winning the war. Is Ukraine winning the war? Yeah, it won't look like it. Oh yeah, I'm getting a big yes. I mean, there's no words to how horrible it has been. I'm going to ask one more thing. Will the GOP be stopped from stealing the election in 2024? Simple question. Will the GOP be stopped from stealing the election? It would be more fun from. I don't know if they have a red light district in Amsterdam anymore. Probably. It used to be where everyone went to go smoke weed for free, but now it's not illegal anymore. I will send you a picture of the tulips in Gloucester, where I live. Talk about collective energy. Tiptoe through the tulips. Talk about collective energy. Where I live, there's a community of people that volunteered as gardeners to pretty much, we have this area with the fisherman statue, Fisherman at the Wheel. You may have seen it if you've ever heard of Gorton's. That's their logo is the fisherman. There's a boulevard that borders the ocean, and there are volunteers in the city who have planted just tulips everywhere. It's amazing. I promise I'll take a picture or do a video from there one of these days, and you'll get to see it. No, I'll tiptoe through the tulips. Will the GOP be stopped from stealing the 2024 election? That's a yes. That's a yes. I got a really strong yes that Ukraine will win. Yes, and Glenn, I got that. I got that the other day. That I just felt like, and I said in a prior video before that, on Friday night I think it was, or Saturday night, I saw that there was going to be something good that happened over the next several days, which was this past weekend, that would turn things around. So Macron won. And I felt like there was a turning point for Ukraine, for the good. So keep visualizing the result that you want to see, because it does work. Okay. I think that's everything for now. Until we meet again. Oh, thank you for the thumbs up thing. I am the world's worst marketer. Just so you all know, I'm terrible at it. I'm really good at promoting other people when it comes to the logistical things of marketing. Like, okay, now I'm remembering. Please subscribe to my channel. Please hit the thumbs up. And if you'd like to book a reading, just send an email to AnnetteDionPsychic@gmail.com. I'm going to put the lyrics to my little song that I wrote. I'm going to put that in the description, and I'll be singing it to you every time. I'm going to put the Toyota phone number in the description. I did tell you guys I had no intentions of going on live tonight, but it was a last minute thing. So, and then I see that I was up to 500 people at one point. So I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. Please get in touch with me for a reading, AnnetteDionPsychic@gmail.com if you'd like a reading. I am teaching pendulum classes. I have one slated, these are all full, for the 30th, the 7th, and the 14th. And I will do more pendulum classes too, probably take a week off and then on Saturday. So send me an email for that too if you are interested. And thank you so much. You guys totally rock, and I had a lot of laughs, so that's always a good thing. Namaste. Have a great night or day or whatever it is where you are. See you soon.